So I know you guys have a lot of things to do in your courses, so I won't take much of the time. Well, good morning, everyone. We have prepared this workshop, this little demo for you to have an idea of how to, it's just to have an idea. I mean, you guys are free to use whatever strategy you guys want and whatever method or approach you want to have with the listening exercise. It's just an idea that we had in the English A1 course for this listening STT that we suggested at the beginning of the year. Okay, I'm happy to see a lot of faces here that I haven't seen in days because of the work that we have. So since we're here for this, let's go ahead and start with it. Please let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So the idea is to show you a demo class on the STT for listening exercise. I don't know if you guys have an idea or what are you going to be doing. This is just to present you what we think is a good way to do it. Based on a research on my part that I am doing on listening strategies. Okay, so let's start. This is like the layout that we have for the STT. So I'm using the same layout proposed by the directors of the course, so we can speak the same language here. I'm going to be sharing this presentation and these slides for you, so you can have it and you can modify it as you will. So you can work based on this if you want. Okay. So to start the STT with the students, we're gonna show them the objectives. Obviously, they need to know what they're gonna be doing in the STT, as we always do. They need to know what the purpose is, what you're going to present them, and what are they gonna take away from the STT. So the idea is that they identify key details from a listening passage, which is what we're going to do. Is what the idea. Apply some strategies to improve listening comprehension. They're going to learn this. They need to be aware. I mean, you can put this in English, or you can put it in Spanish or in English, and you can explain to them in Spanish, obviously. Okay. And as every process that we have when we're teaching, we need to have a reflection point. So they're going to be reflecting on their listening process, so they can be aware of the things that they are doing when they are doing them. So they use something that is called metacognitive strategies. You know that metacognitive is the process of thinking about thinking. You think about what you are doing, and then you learn from that, and then you move on. That is metacognitive. Okay, so I'm going to go quick because it's, as I told you, it's a demo. So you present the objectives of the STT. And then we ask the questions, or this question, simple question to the student. So how do you listen? Imagine that you guys are students. I don't want to be doing all the talking. So imagine that you guys are the students here. So how do you listen? Can you guys, some of you have given me some answers. How do you listen? What do you think students are going to say in this question, for example? Anyone, just don't let me talk to myself.
No, profe, no se escucha.
You're not listening to me?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Okay, Maria Alejandra, can you give me an answer to this question? Can you help me out? How do you listen?
I mean, we're not listening to anything. I think
No.
was,
There's
yeah.
no listening. I mean,
There's
there's
a
no,
question
that is just a gift. Don't worry about that. We're not listening to anything. I'm just asking you the question. How do you listen? You can remove that gift then from there, so you don't confuse the students. Like, they might be thinking that I'm playing something, but I'm not. So Maria Alejandra, how do you listen?
Properly.
I just think they're gonna say that they just play the recording and try to answer a question or do what they have to do.
Okay.
Are you
And if I
asking about
say
ourselves? How
yes,
I
we
I'm
mean,
are?
talking.
us.
Yeah,
For example,
Oh,
Pablo,
yeah,
okay.
how do you listen? What is the
yeah,
process that you follow when you
Oh,
listen?
yeah. In my
I
case,
know. I'm sorry.
I try to listen the quick questions, keywords first at first place, and then I can
Keywords.
figure it out what is the message about.
Okay. Keywords.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yes. Another person? Anyone? We've had workshops about listening strategies before, right?
I thought you were asking how students would answer to this question.
I said, pretend that you guys are students and answer
Oh,
this question. Yeah. How do you listen? Imagine you're a student. Okay, you are acting like students right now, being really quiet. Well, they probably say, yeah, if I just play the audio and just listen to whatever comes up because I have no training on this, which is what we're trying to fix, right? Because basically, how do you listen? Is I just click play, right? Okay, which is a valid answer when we don't know how to do it. Okay, in order to fix that a little bit, we're gonna give them some ideas. So how do you listen? These are some of the strategies that researchers have come up with. Okay, these are some ideas that come from metacognitive strategies, from experts that have studied this topic for a long time, many years. So they come up with this sort of strategies. Like I have a plan in mind about the way I'm going to listen before I do it. So it's a good idea to set up a plan. Yeah, what am I going to listen to? Okay, this audio is about, for example, about restaurants, about cities. Okay, so I'm going to be listening about cities. Okay, what kind of vocabulary am I going to be listening to? Okay, so I have a plan. The second one is I use words that I understand to guess the meaning of the words that I don't understand. For example, if I know some vocabulary about the topic that is presented to me, well, I'm gonna try to connect those words that I know with the things that I'm gonna be listening to. Okay. The next one is I use my experience and knowledge to try to understand. Yeah. Again, based on experience that they have. Another strategy that is being researched on is I translate the keywords while I listen to them. This one takes time because it requires a longer process in the mind of the student. But maybe we can teach them this. Okay, if they know a word, okay, that word means car. So they're talking about a car, for example. I use the general idea of the text as a support to guess the meaning of the words that I don't understand. This is also another strategy that the students can use. They listen to the whole thing and then they start grasping vocabulary or expressions or things that they know so they can get the whole idea or part of the idea of the context. And finally, which is most of students probably, I listen without a plan. I just try to understand, right? I have no plan. I just jump into the listening and see what comes up. Okay. So these are some ideas that you can present to the students so they can have like a different options on how to start listening to audios. Okay. So they can reflect on this, think about this before they jump into a listening exercise. The next slide talks about strategies that we're going to present to them. Okay, so the first strategy is predicting the content. Like Paulo said, I predict, I figure out what the listening is going to be about, and I start predicting. So I predicted I presented to the student. Okay, we're going to talk about predicting content. So you're going to be presented with images or vocabulary or questions about the listening or the things that you're going to be listening to. Okay, so pay attention to that. And the second strategy is listening for keywords. Okay, so you are presented with some information before the listening, and then you focus on those words, and then you try to guess what they are saying. It's the idea of this strategies that we're going to present. I prepare only 2 strategies, not to overwhelm the students, because you cannot be presenting them a lot of strategies so they forget about them and they just don't even know what they're going to use at the end. In every listening process, according to studies, I'm not going to mention the authors right here, not necessary. There are 3 stages usually that they do in this process. Okay, they do a pre-listening part where they predict the content from the context, the clues, the title, the pictures, the keywords. So you can present this to them. We're going to do a pre-listening exercise. We're going to be talking about this before you listen. So don't worry about it if we're not listening to anything right now, because I'm leading the information. I'm involving you into the context of the listening part. So we're going to talk about restaurants. What do you think we're going to be talking about? If I say restaurants, what kind of vocabulary you guys can come up with? Help me out. If I say we're going to be listening about restaurants,
Obviously,
sorry?
food.
Yeah,
of
food.
course.
What
Menu.
else? The
Prices,
menu,
numbers.
prices, numbers. Thank you.
Table shares.
Thank you. Exactly. So you can use these ideas to introduce the context and the content to the students. So we're going to be talking about this, but I have it prepared here. The second one is while listening. So we're listening, we're doing the listening exercise when we're finding or we're listening for guests or main ideas and keywords. So I present with a question. For example, we're going to be talking about a restaurant. What food are they going to eat, for example? And then I play the audio. And it's let's say, a 30-second audio. But I want them to focus only on the food that they're going to eat. So they're going to be mentioning chicken, salad, whatever, depending on what I'm going to present to them. And they are focusing their minds on the kind of food or the things that I want them to focus their mind on. That's the idea. And then we do a post-listening exercise, which is very, very, very important aspect or strategy or stage when you're doing a listening exercise. You need to reflect, summarize the audio, okay? You need to try to get the whole idea of the audio, what they're saying, what they're doing, and try to understand as much as you can. And if the students can, just take notes and take away some other vocabulary that they didn't know about. And obviously at the end, well, reflecting on key points. For these stages, it is important that when you're using strategies, at the end, you reflect on the things that you did. It's not just, I just listened to this, I got 5 correct answers, and then I move on to my next activity. It's not like that. You need to start reflecting, okay, this strategy helped me, or this didn't help me at all, or I need to use some different strategies because I'm not listening to anything. I'm not understanding. So it's a good idea that they reflect on that. I'm suggesting you to do this so they can learn a little bit about strategies on how to listen. So again, predicting content and listening for keywords while we do pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening exercises. So for the students, we're going to start with this first strategy, that is predicting content, since you guys are students. So what is predicting? I'm going to ask student David Laundry to help me reading this part. I probably don't know how to read this, or they do, so they can translate if they want translate some read in English, so it's okay.
Sure. Okay. Here I go. What is predicting? Before listening, thinking about what you might hear. For example, if the topic is food, you might hear words like eat, restaurant, or menu.
Exactly. Thank you. You read like a student. Nah, just kidding. Did it really well. Predicting. Yes, that's the idea. You guys know what predicting is. So you, as I said before, you introduce the topic. You tell them, okay, we're going to be listening to an audio about a teacher. The teacher is called Julian. Okay, not our Julian, not our director Julian, but a different Julian. Okay, so you're gonna listen to a story about a teacher Julian. Answer these questions, and With these questions, I am introducing the topic, okay? Now we know that we're going to be listening to an audio about Julian. So I want you to answer this question. What do you think makes a good teacher? Imagine your students. Anyone? What makes a good teacher? I mean, for students, they can answer in Spanish if they want. I mean, I repeat, this is a demo class. You don't have to use the things that I have here. You can create your own. This is just an idea, right? So help me out here. Get me out of my misery and being talking to myself. What do you
Maybe a
think makes a good
person
teacher?
who I can
I'm
establish
thinking.
a good communication.
Person I can establish a good communication with, yes, that's a good teacher. Someone I can relate or communicate to. Something else? It's just to get an idea.
A person with a good vibes.
Person with good vibes. Okay, so Carlos, you're a great teacher. Have good vibes.
Okay.
Somebody else? Anyone? Whatever.
Good communicator.
A good
A person
communicator.
who knows
Someone
the students.
Someone knows the students. Yes, thank you. A lot of ideas can come to mind, right? Okay. We're gonna tell the students, okay, write your answers in the chat box, or we can tell them to open the mics and tell us what they think a good teacher is. They're thinking about different things. They're thinking about a teacher. The second question is, do you know a teacher who speaks more than one language? Guys, do you know a teacher who speaks more than one language?
Yeah.
We're
You,
gonna
for
say
example.
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Ourselves,
you.
yes.
Okay, do you know an English, sorry, do you know a non-English teacher that speaks more than one language? Let's say mathematics teacher or a chemistry teacher or whatever.
Yes.
Yes, that's the idea, because we're not talking about a teacher that is an English teacher. And the other question is, what do you think listening is important to learning a new language, in learning a new language? Well, these questions might be difficult for students, but it's important to present it to them so they focus on the task that they have at hand. They're listening to something, right? Why listening is important, Maria Alejandra?
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize that students are probably gonna answer this in Spanish, and that's okay. I mean, these questions are important to encourage participation, but also to make them aware of, what we're trying to teach them in the STT, like, which is like listening is it's important. You should do it with a plan, but like they can do it in Spanish. I just wanted to emphasize on that.
Merci. Yes, so they can be answer this question. They can be answering these questions in Spanish, of course, and they can come up with whatever answer they think is appropriate. There is no wrong answers, anyways. Okay. Moving on, we're gonna focus. We're gonna do the first time listening, or the first listening that they're gonna do with this audio, and they're gonna focus on understanding and applying strategies in real time. So they're gonna listen to the audio, and you're gonna tell me what strategy we're using. So it's who's Julian, and what do you know about him? Let me know if you're listening to the audio.
Julian is a teacher. He teaches math at Madison College in New York. He is 29 years old. He lives in New York City with his family, his mother, his father, his two brothers, and one sister. He has 35 students in his math course. 21 students are from the US, and the other 14 are from different countries. 4 students are from Asia, 6 students are from South America, and 4 students are from Europe. Julian teaches the class in English, but he knows how to say hello in 5 languages, in addition to English. He enjoys teaching and often uses games to make math fun for his students. On weekends, Julian likes to visit museums and play soccer with his brothers.
So as you guys know, I'm pretending to be a teacher here. We're talking about a teacher. Yeah, a teacher whose name is Julian. Yes. Now, who is Julian? Imagine that you guys are the students. What do you get? Who's Julian?
Teacher.
A teacher.
Julian is a teacher. Okay. What else? What other kind of information you get about Julian? What kind of teacher is he? Is he an English teacher?
No,
No.
Mathematics.
He's not
mathematics.
No.
He's a math teacher.
He's a math teacher.
Yeah.
He's a math teacher, of course. You're acting like students. That's the way they're going to answer, probably. He's a math teacher. What else can you say about Julian?
He's
Lives
29
in New
years
York.
old.
29 years old.
39 years old. Okay.
29.
29.
Sorry, 29. Yes. Okay. Something else? Where
He
is he from, for
speaks.
example? Where is he from? Did you get that
Okay.
information?
He lives in New York.
He lives in New York. Yes. Andres, he speaks what?
Excuse me.
You were going to say something, Andres Guzman.
No, that he lives in New York. That's what I heard.
Oh, he lives in New York. Yeah. Okay. Somebody was
He
going to say
has,
something about his
he has
language.
35
teaches math
students.
for different people,
Okay.
for different language people, population.
Okay. Thank you. He has a number of students that I don't remember.
He
works
has
with a lot of
35
people.
students.
35 students. Okay, that's a lot of information. That's what you know about him now. Okay, and that is the first listening. What helps you? Because you were focused on the idea that he was a teacher, and you were probably thinking about, okay, I already know about teachers that speak other languages. I know about the word New York, for example. I know the word languages, so they talk about languages. I know the word student, so I am focusing on the students, and I could relate the words that they were saying. So it's a good idea to tell students to take notes, right? So take notes when you're listening to this. Okay, whatever you can grasp from the listening, you take notes. Yeah, and then you answer the questions. Write your answers in the chat box or use your microphone, as you did right now. Yeah, this might take some time, or this can go really quick as you guys did it. This is the first time listening. Usually when we're using these strategies, we only use three listening stages, just three. Just the first one, the second one to get more information, which is the one that we're gonna do right now. Sorry. Of course, you guys have to have this to take the first screenshot. It's like the complete presentation for you guys to have. And then we're gonna go to the second time listening. There is somebody with the microphone on. I think it's Camila Gomez. Okay. So we're gonna go with the second listening, and in the second listening, they're gonna listen for keywords. We're gonna introduce some questions, but we're gonna analyze them before with them. Keywords are the most important words in a sentence. They help you understand the main idea. Okay, so we're gonna introduce some keywords. What are keywords? Keywords here is job. What is Julian's job? They already know. Oh, teacher, what is job? Okay, remember we said occupation or job. Okay, teacher. Okay, I'm gonna focus on his job, but I already know he's a teacher. Where does Julian live? We already know, but maybe we didn't get that information. So where does he live? This is the keyword, right? Live. Do you guys understand what live is? Yes. Okay. Live in a city. Let's see what city does he live in? Let's focus on that information. The other one is, what is the number of students? Oh, okay, number of students. So he's a teacher. He has students. Let's focus on how many students he has. Yeah. The next one. Okay, what are the students' nationalities? So this is a difficult one. Nationalities. Remember that we are in the previous class, for example, or in the unit, or in the module 1 and 2, we work on nationalities. Remember? Okay, for example, what is the nationality for someone from the United States? That's American. From someone from Asia, that's Asian, etc. Something like that. We can introduce these keywords. Okay, nationalities. That is the keyword right there. And then we have another one. What languages does Julian know? Languages. Okay, what is a language, teacher? Language is, for example, Spanish, English, etc. So let's focus on what languages does he speak? Or we can ask the students, what languages do you know? What vocabulary about languages do you know? Okay, French, Chinese, etc., right? So we can focus their attention on that. And why does Julian know multiple languages? Okay, this might be a difficult question, but we put it there. Why? We're going to give reasons for that. Why multiple languages? How did he get to learn those many languages? And how many students are from South America? This from South America. Let's focus on the students from South America. It's just a number. Let's focus on that one. Okay, so I'm going to play the audio again.
Julian is a teacher.
And you can
He
give me the
teaches
answers.
math at Madison College in New York. He is 29 years old. He lives in New York City with his family, his mother, his father, his 2 brothers, and 1 sister. He has 35 students in his math course. 21 students are from the US, and the other 14 are from different countries. 4 students are from Asia, 6 students are from South America, and 4 students are from Europe. Julian teaches the class in English, but he knows how to say hello in 5 languages, in addition to English. He enjoys teaching and often uses games to make math fun for his students. On weekends, Julian likes to visit museums and play soccer with his brothers.
Great. By the way, this audio was taken, well, the script was taken from the ebook, but the audio was recorded with AI. You guys can do that, or you can use the audios that are presented in the ebook. You can just, as I said before, you can twist this presentation the way you want, the way you usually do it. Do you have the answers? What is Julian's job? You already know it. Where does Julian live? You already gave me the answer. What is the number of students?
35.
35 students. What are the students' nationalities? Do you know?
Asia, South American, Europe.
Asia, Europe, American.
21 from USA,
Okay.
4 from Asia, 6 from South America, and 4 from Europe.
So you give me the answer for the how many students are from South America? So
Exactly.
How many from South America? 6?
6.
6. Thank you.
6
How do you come to
students.
that? Okay, 6 students. How did you come to that conclusion? What do you do? What strategy did you use? Did you take notes?
Right.
Yep. Since the first
Did you
recording.
focus on the keyword?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you have an answer for this one? Why does Julian know multiple languages? It doesn't say, right? That also can happen. There is no answer for this one. It doesn't say. He says only that he knows how to say hello in 5 different languages, but he doesn't say how he managed to learn those languages. That can happen also. And that is a good idea for them to know. I mean, they're focusing on this and they find out that there is no answer for that, and they can give you that answer also. Good. To finish the exercise, it's a good idea that you review the comprehension. You present the whole script so they can understand, and then you can, as I said before, give them some new vocabulary so that they can take away from this presentation. So here's the audio, and you can play the audio again with them so they can understand, and they're like, oh, okay, that's what they say. Oh, they pronounce that like that, etc., etc. Or what is US? They said something that I didn't understand, etc. That's the way they do it, or that's the way we can do it. Yeah. And
Julian is a
sorry.
teacher.
The final part of this is to reflect about the activity and what can they do next time. So it says here, let's reflect on the process. Which strategy helped you the most today? Yeah. Do you remember the strategies? Can you guys tell me which were the 2 strategies that we worked on?
Yeah, identify
Pure
keywords.
predicting.
Identify keywords. And the second one?
That was the
Also
second one. The
predicting.
first one was predictive.
Predicting
Okay, or the first
content.
one. It doesn't matter the order,
In
right?
context.
It's like
Okay.
mathematics. Yes. Yes. Okay. So if you were students, which strategy helped you the most today? I mean, of course, as I said at the beginning, you guys can research about other strategies that are more suitable for your students or for students in general, and you can present them to your students and help them.
Making notes, for example, making notes.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, taking notes is a good idea. Yes. Good. Thank you. Another one? Which strategy help you? Did you guys focus on the vocabulary? Focus on the context? Focus on the main idea? Okay. This is a good idea to present to students, to reflect. Why do we reflect on this? so they can be aware. They can use the metacognition next time they're going to do a listening exercise. Oh, they give me a workshop about on this. I'm going to concentrate on the keywords, for example. The exams said, okay, vas a escuchar un audio acerca de fulanita. Yes, okay, fulanita, o la pregunta es, ¿de dónde es fulanita? Yes, so I'm going to focus on cities, what they are saying about nationalities or cities or places. Yeah, I'm going to focus on that information, for example. Or sometimes there are some visual aids, okay, that you can, that the quizzes have, some of them, okay? So it's a good idea to ask the students. And ask them, how will you use this strategy next time? Yeah, so they are aware of that. Yes, that's it. I don't know if you guys have any questions about this. Is it useful? Is not useful? Let me hear your comments.
What,
As a
Guillermo?
give me 1 second. I'll repeat the question in a minute. I just need to present this last part so you guys can give something extra to the students. Don't forget to practice, right? So how do you practice listening? Okay, you can watch Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever. Any platform that you guys
Listening
have
to
at
music.
home. Exactly. Thank you. Listening to music. Julio is acting like a student right now. Interrupting the teacher. No,
I
I'm just
love
kidding, Julio.
music, so I usually work by listening to music in English.
Of course. Not only cumbia, Julio. I'm just kidding. You can listen to podcasts in English. There are a lot of podcasts. We have access to Spotify. Everybody has access to Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer or some other platforms. And there are a lot of podcasts. Encourage your students to listen to podcasts, music, watch movies in English, to train their ear, because there is no way to learn to listen if you don't listen, basically. If you listen to Spanish things all the time, when you listen to something in English, you're not going to understand because you have not trained your ear, right? And you guys know about this. So it's a good idea to tell students. You can watch videos, short videos in English in TikTok, Instagram, etc., all platforms that you guys know. And videos that they like. There are a lot of information there. Listen to music in English, as Julio said. Get the lyrics on apps. You can even go to Spotify and watch the lyrics over there so they can learn it. Or active the audio in English in the video games or movies. All right, so they know they can do that. This is just a giveaway for the students so they can have these strategies. So they know we care and that we're thinking about them all the time. Yeah. Or you can introduce some AI that are useful for listening, practicing, speaking. Yeah. The idea is to make it part of their routine. Yeah. Or you can put up another inspirational phrase right there at the end. Okay. This is the end of the presentation. That's what I had for you today. Let me know what you think. Let me hear you. Thank you so much for being here, for
Guillermo, I would like to
participating.
add something. Can we use it?
Excuse me. I'm gonna listen to Edward first, and
Can
then
we
raise your
use?
hands, please.
Okay.
Edward?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know what? I would like to add something. Some students complain about the vocabulary. So for me, the most important part for starting is just including vocabulary and kind of idioms and kind of the strategies to help them out to understand everything related to the listening they are listening to. I think the most important part for students from UNAD, so we have to focus first in the vocabulary, just find the strategies to help them to get more vocabulary.
Exactly. As I said at the beginning, this is just a demo. You guys switch it or twist it or modify the way you guys want it. And what you're saying is really important. Vocabulary for our students is key because let's be honest, they do not have a lot of vocabulary when they come to the courses. They manage to grab some, and we need to give them some more. So it's a good idea to present vocabulary. Usually with visual aids is better because they most students are visual, so they can get the information while seeing the images, right? Thank you, Edward. Thank you for the comments. I have Julio. Yes, we can have the presentation. That's the idea. That's the message that we send. We're gonna give away this presentation for free. You don't have to pay for anything, Julio. What are they gonna give you things for free, man?
That was my question, if we can use it.
Of course you can use it.
It is a really great presentation. It's like
you just gotta change the name.
Okay.
I mean, see what works for you, and if you want to modify it, change something, add another strategy, change the audio because you think it's too difficult, change the question. Whatever you want to do with it is all right. But the idea was to give you a demo class on how to present it to the students. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
I appreciate your tips, Mr. Arenas. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you appreciating the tips. Thanks. Anyone else want to comment on something? Say something? Right. Okay, guys. That was it for today. Thank you so much for being here. It was just a quick demo from the A1 directors, especially Maria Alejandra, who helped out in this, and all the directors. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you on the flip side. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.